Hey guys, welcome to Game of Casts with Eric Brower and myself, Andrew. And on it we're going to be talking about sort of theories about certain TV shows, like all the Golden Era ones, and we're going to be doing hopefully like a lot of correct hypotheses and recaps and whatnot of different episodes and things like that as we head into the second last episode of Breaking Bad this Sunday.
Alright, ending theories. What do you think is going to happen, Andrew?
It changes every single week. Like,
Yeah.
we come in and we talk about it, and like at first I thought Jesse was gonna burn their place down, and that's how it's gonna that was gonna be one of the things that turns into the whole Heisenberg being written on the walls, and then that totally changed. And then I thought Walt was in that big car scene, like that made it pretty obvious, and I feel like Walt, I thought, was going to, like, I assumed Jesse would get kidnapped, Hank and Gomi would get killed, and then Walt was going to, like, cut a deal and then eventually go back and save Jesse. And I thought Marie would go nuts, write Heisenberg all over their house and spray paint or whatever and kill herself.
She's crazy.
That's actually what I thought would happen, but what turned out to happen was slightly different, and the relationship with Jesse seems completely torn, and Walt is the worst we've ever seen him, and now he's in the witness protection program. We all assumed, like, the Saul thing.
Yeah.
But
The fake witness protection program.
yeah, but now what I think is going to happen is I still think that he's gonna come back for Jesse, or Jesse will die, or sorry, not Jesse will die. Jesse will be saved indirectly somehow, because he's definitely going back to kill the Nazis. I don't know if it's for Jesse, but if not for Jesse, I don't know why. If then it's just for $70 million.
Well, what
are your thoughts?
My thoughts at this point is he won't, for all he knows right now, Jesse might be dead, he might be alive, whatever. He doesn't care at this point. Jesse's betrayed him to the police, of all people.
Yeah.
And he tries to have Jesse killed because he doesn't care about him anymore. Like, before then, he loved him as a son. No more.
You know, that's a good question, because I think, when Todd bails out Jesse at the end of the last one, like, because Todd wants to learn from Jesse because he wants to impress Lydia. It is.
You noticed that too?
Yeah, you see how he looks at that cut, or that lipstick?
Be mine.
I think if Walt really wanted to kill Jesse, he would have been like, no, fuck you, Todd, kill him now.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll teach you if you really want to learn, or something like that.
Well, here's the thing.
Like,
he knows that Todd is going to torture the shit out of him.
Yeah, but he knows that, like, if you want to kill Jesse, kill him right now. And he had the opportunity, and he didn't. And I do think he still has something in there for Jesse. Like, you would have killed him right then. If that guy was your sworn enemy, and they have a gun to his head,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, cool, and everyone's like, yeah, and then one guy's like, I don't know, guys, you would be like, no, fuck you, I outrank the shit out of you.
Here's the
Kill
thing.
him,
That's
yeah.
where the Jane thing comes in. Because right before he's being taken away, he says, I saw Jane die.
So
I did nothing about it. He's actually indirectly telling Jesse, I know it's going to happen to you, and I'm not coming for you.
So do you think but it really would have been, I think a bigger deal if he just killed him. Like,
Yeah.
more satisfying if he killed him. But I do think he's indirectly, like, wants him to survive and make it out of there. He wants him to take his beatings and get punched in the face like he's supposed to, because he screwed him over. But I think he slightly forgives him. Like, I have a small feeling that he's going to eventually forgive
after
him.
the flashback, after some time, he's forgiven him. But I don't think he's coming back for Jesse. My thoughts on this is his house is ransacked. Heisenberg is written on the wall.
By who, though?
Exactly, the Nazis. Who else would ransack their house?
So what else do they have left to get out of him? They got all his money.
Well, remember,
and they don't need to cook meth for money anymore if they have $70 million.
They're gonna do it anyways. They're
Yeah, I know.
Nazis, so what do you know?
I know.
They don't
I know.
need a reason to do what they do.
But why would they... What would they possibly need out of that house?
It makes sense, because even though Jesse's amazing at cooking meth, he's not the best. He'll maybe get the purity level to, 85%. as opposed to like 99%, which is what the Heisenberg days were, meth purity wise. After they get to a certain level, they're gonna want Walt back, and that's they're sending.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Because remember, Lydia's the one pulling the strings, really.
You think all that can happen in 2 episodes?
Well, remember that there's a huge flash forward. So
true. You got me there.
His family, I think his family is either dead or kidnapped, and he's coming to save them. Or if they're kidnapped, save them. If they're dead,
yeah, you're right.
Going to get
revenge. He could be saving that. Yeah, maybe
and he'll inadvertently save Jesse.
Okay, this I can agree with for sure. This is a good theory that now that he's disappeared, I think he took the money with him. I'm not sure.
The 11 million, yeah, of course.
Like
he had the barrel.
He didn't have the barrel with him when he was standing there.
Yeah, he had the barrel with him for the vacuum man.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's definitely going into hiding, and they're definitely looking for him. So they're going to try to suck him out by kidnapping his family.
Yeah, that's the most likely. Potentially, their family's dead. His family's
legit
dead.
Though. Who would ever write Heisenberg on the walls like, oh, he's gonna hate this? Like,
no, it's not hate this. It's a message. So like, it's just we want Heisenberg to get back here.
Why wouldn't they write the entire message like Heisenberg, we got your family? Did they do Heisenberg and then a post-it note? Like,
you know Heisenberg.
No, he's not gonna see them and be like, oh crap. He knows they know he's Heisenberg. What does it matter?
What are you saying?
You can't justify why they only wrote the word Heisenberg on his wall.
Well, if his house gets ransacked and destroyed, like...
They would have written an entire note.
No, but then that...
Come on.
Police and stuff like that.
You can't keep justifying
It's more dramatic if they just write Heisenberg.
See, no, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're robbing someone, you want to leave a message, you're not going to just write their name. That they know their name is. Like, who gives a shit? You would write a note.
No, they're the only ones who know he's Heisenberg.
Dude. Be real with yourself. Do you think like that's enough? Like, oh, they wrote Heisenberg on my wall. This is serious.
Yo, they kidnapped my family and I know who did it.
Then why do you need to write the word Heisenberg on the wall?
I don't know.
See? You don't know. So don't try to prove an empty theory.
So wait, so what are you saying? Why who put Heisenberg and why?
Yeah.
That's what
Give me a tangible answer.
No, I'm asking you now. Now it's on you.
Like, I honestly don't know. Because I don't think that leaves a message of any kind. Just writing the word Heisenberg. Like, if I broke into your house and I'm like, Eric! What does that matter?
It's my code
name.
If
I kidnapped your family, you'd be like, I know the fucker who kidnapped my family. Oh, and they wrote Eric on my wall? It's like, no, you don't care at all.
So you're saying they don't need to write Heisenberg because it's just obvious who took his family?
Yeah, that might just be vandalization from, like, those skateboard kids or something like that. But, like... Yeah, they don't need to leave them a message when they kidnap your family.
We'll find out on Sunday now, won't we?
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, well,
but I definitely think your theory of, like, bringing him out of the witness protection through kidnapping his family or something, which is why he needs to get his gun, I think that all makes sense. I think so. All
right, well, getting back to the final prediction, what's Walt's outcome? Is he alive? Is he dead? What?
I actually think it's what you told me.
What did I tell you?
About the ricin?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, basically, Walt... I don't know what's going to happen to Skyler, to his son, to the daughter. Jesse's going to live throughout the series. He will survive the series. That's my prediction for him. I think that he will rescue Jesse, maybe also his family. He got the ricin from his house... And he's not going to use it against Lydia or the Nazis. He's going to go to Jesse and say, Jesse, like, I ruined your life. Like, I've done so many wrong things to you, and I'm such a... What I've done, I've destroyed my family, all the bad things he's done. And you'll tell Jesse, if you think I deserve to live, then don't poison me. If you think I deserve to die, put the rice in my coffee right now.
Yeah, because he saved Jesse and those guys, Jesse will be conflicted, but because Jesse hates his guts, he'll want to kill him. So it's like, that's the decision, and then they better not Sopranos us, where it just goes blank or something.
They said they'd tie all the loose ends.
One of the questions I have for you, yeah, that's true. Yeah. One of the questions I have for you is, what do you think next episode will be about? because if Walt is in this witness protection program, he's not talking to anybody. So he has like nothing to do but pick his nose and like watch TV on the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then his family, who just like went into shambles or whatever, they really have nothing to talk about because now they're like, it'll just be Marie, the kids, and Skylar just sitting there like, that's crazy. Like maybe they'll hold a funeral or something, but like they won't really have too much. They don't have anywhere else to go in the story aside from possibly being kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then Jesse's just there cooking like with no options for escaping. So I think it will be very Lydia and Nazi focused.
The next episode. Well, maybe.
Right? Because a lot has to develop there. Like, either it's not satisfactory enough, or they get a thirst for more. But a lot has to develop there.
Lydia, definitely. She's only been, like, 2 episodes this season.
Yeah, and she's, like, the big boss, kind of, now. Indirectly.
It's so... Like, I hope she dies so bad. Like...
Yeah?
Like...
She's really cool.
She's cool in the sense that, like, she gets shit done. And, like, she'll do whatever it takes to get shit done. But, like... when she has to be blindfolded to be let out, like to not see the bodies that like she's responsible
just really
for.
Strange,
yeah, it's like own up to it, bitch.
Well, what do you? Okay, so let me recap. Let me recap what some of the theories are. Like,
no.
They're gonna try to smoke Walt out
Yeah.
in some way. The most convenient way would be his family.
Yeah.
Because they know Jesse's not the way. Because he supposedly hates Jesse.
Yeah.
And house might get ransacked or whatever. But
I remember something messed up has to happen in that house for it to be on the news, like national news, for Walt to see it. Because they have no one has any way of contacting Walt, so it only has to be like his.
good point. Good
his
point.
entire family minus one getting murdered, like
maybe Saul.
Skylar, his son dead, small daughter missing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the news, like one of the people in the house is missing.
Well, okay.
And he knows that he has to get back there to save that one person.
We'll touch on that in a second. So just recapping, yeah, he's gonna get smoked out.
Yeah.
And it has to be extreme.
Yeah.
So that he can see it. And Jesse and all those, well, the guns for the Nazis. Who knows if he survives that? We don't know that yet.
Jesse?
No, we don't know if Walt survives using the gun, like whatever impending gunfight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unless that he survives and now gets the ricin, perhaps. I'm not
Oh, actually, I need to look back at the episodes because he's cut like in the first flash forward at the beginning of season 5, part 1. At the Denny's, yeah. I don't think his like shirt is all dirty, like. But in the second flash forward, his shirt is like sweat, like stained and like messed up and like shit like that. It could just be like times passing. He just doesn't have a change of shirts, but you might be right.
And tell me this, dude. Is he much of a revenge guy?
Of course.
I'm not doubting, but what are some of the big examples of revenge? Because then it's like kills his family. He's gonna fucking terrorize you guys. So,
yeah.
What's some of the big revenge stuff that he's done?
Well,
I can't actually remember too many because it's always him actually getting into trouble he shouldn't be in.
Yeah. Mike, I guess, for all the wrongs he's done him, like from verbal abuse and actually beating the shit out of him once.
Yeah, to take him so far that he lost his composure when he's usually really composed.
Exactly. Who else?
Because like with Gus never really like wronged him, to be honest. Like they were playing chess and stuff like that.
It's not actually like, revenge.
Salamanca, crazy. Yeah. None of those guys really did anything to him first.
Yeah. Revenge-wise, it's not revenge that he seeks. It's he demands respect and authority.
I think he demands control.
Respect, authority.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the beginning of the show, he had none of that. His wife kind of not treated him like crap, but like.
I was listening to this Bill Simmons thing. The guy from ESPN Grantland. Yeah. Anyways, they were talking about Breaking Bad, and he asked the question like, "Is it possible he hasn't had cancer this entire time?"
No. He has cancer.
Like, how do we know? Like, cause the doctors say. Is that for sure?
No, like
because he lived.
He was
supposed to die within 6 months, and he at least lived to his
because he got
to a birthday.
Surgery. Yeah, and then he got like surgery and chemo, and then he was better, and then we saw him get a CAT scan or something like that, and he told everyone that he has cancer again, or told one person, and then we saw him in chemo in one quick scene, and we actually saw him hooked up to the machines and all of that jazz, and he's like coughing a bit more like he used to.
He coughed some blood.
I don't think he's coughed. I don't think we've seen blood.
Or nauseous or something.
Yeah, he's been coughing. Oh, he's been throwing up too from the chemo. Yeah.
Alright. That's a dumb question. I don't know. It's just, you never know with this guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, it could be that extreme. Like, see dead people kind of thing. Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think will happen in this episode? 75 minutes long.
It's 75 minutes now?
Yeah.
Oh, they extended it.
Both of the last two are extra long.
Smart move.
I don't know if it's like 75 relative to an hour, because it's probably like actually 41 minutes or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because then it'd be like 2 episodes.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's
they
definitely...
do say 75.
No, that's including commercials, of course.
Yeah, okay. So it's probably like for real 50 minutes.
Yeah, which is pretty good. This episode. That's a good question, because the end point is either he lives or dies, or gets into his gunfight or whatever. For all we know, maybe that happens in this episode. And I know that a famous broadcaster, like some American news TV host guy, like Dan Rather type, is being cast in this the episode that's coming up, or the one
really?
after that.
Oh,
so that's where the
national
news thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're gonna see the Nazis kidnap Skylar and all that, or we're gonna see the aftermath of that. But it's hard to tell. Either Hank will have just finished off the Nazis in this episode, or he'll be right before about to in the main confrontation. Like, he'll be with his gun going into the building and like cuts off there.
Can you answer me this? What are the loose ends that need to be tied up? Not like the Skylar live. Like, I'm talking about real ones that, you know what I mean? Like, what happened to the Ryson? Or
Yeah.
What are
Rice?
they?
What happens to the Rice and
There's the gun.
The gun, yeah.
Whether he specifically lives.
Yes, he specifically lives. A couple other loose ends.
Lydia,
I doubt they would.
Lydia needing to please her manufacturer, right? Because that is.
But here are two loose ends that I don't think they'll show. I think they'll just leave it up in the air.
Yeah.
When Gus was being had his friend killed next to the pool, and they told him, the only reason why you're still alive is because we know who you are. And this is like...
Do they mean like a wuss, or what do they mean?
No, like... Apparently they couldn't find any records of Gus before he came to Mexico. From when he was in like Chile or something.
Yeah.
And... Yeah, so... And like the theories online, it's like, oh, the timeline-wise, he was like a war criminal in like... Pinochet's government, or like some crazy stuff like that. I think it'd be really cool to find out like why Gus was like really that high up, like. And another thing is why the first thing that's like a hint of what Walt inevitably becomes is when his ex-girlfriend, who owns the company Gray Matter with his old friend,
the one he swears at.
Yeah, the one he's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
He blames her for ruining his life.
Whether or not he kills her, or...
No. Like, I just want to find out what happened.
Those guys are billionaires, right?
Yeah, they're billionaires. And she's like, what are you talking about? You left me. And, like, you left the company. Yeah. And his version of the story is they cut him out. And maybe it'd be cool to, like, reveal his past, where his, like, ego troubles might have started. Like... Maybe he didn't want to have a business with them because he wanted all the credit or all the money or whatever, but he couldn't do it on his own. And they became big successes and he, like, failed. It'd be cool to see, like, where it all started.
Yeah.
Like, if it happened before the series.
Anything else?
Anything else. I think Jesse lives. Do you want to talk about Marie?
I don't think there's anything to wrap up about Marie, though. Her story's over.
Basically.
Like, yeah, there's the possibility for them to die, but that's not like that's not a question many people are asking about. People are asking more like, what's the ricin for? Like,
yeah.
Things with evidence. Like, there's no evidence that she needs to die, but there's evidence that the
All right,
rice
well,
needs
here's
to be
one
used.
last thing that is interesting. Walt's in hiding, right?
Yeah.
He gets the ricin, but is seen by a person who knows him, and seemingly doesn't care that he's been seen. That could either mean...
Here we go. This sounds good.
It could be what you think, that he already got his revenge, and it could be what I think, like right after that, he's taking the ricin to kill himself, so who cares if one person's seen him. Or... Actually, I don't know what the or is. Could like...
And why did she look like that? Because he's a ghost, or because he's
Oh,
gone?
because he's like...
Like, because she thinks he's dead? Or
It's either because he thinks he's dead, or probably because it's widely known that he escaped and he's like a drug kingpin.
Yeah.
So you might be right. At that point in the story, he might have already done what he needed to do.
It's really easy for us, like, it's hard, obviously, but it's
Yeah.
easy for us to make predictions with so much now, like, so little places for it to
what's
go.
messed up?
And we'll still be wrong.
First episode, it was so hard to come up with, like,
What the show could
it
be.
could be, and it's still 2 episodes left, so hard to predict what it could
5B
be.
is, like, I think the craziest run of TV I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life.
Yo, it's the best thing in your life.
That's not true.
Not in TV.
Oh, yeah, like, okay, so, what else is there, like, outstanding questions?
Oh, I don't think they're outstanding questions, but it's like, if all the Nazis die, who kills who? Like, who kills Lydia? Who kills Todd? Like, Jesse's definitely killing Todd. There's no way anyone other than Jesse is killing
That's the
Todd.
point, I didn't even...
Lydia,
Like, couldn't Jesse just... Like, what if Jesse did one of those things where... Remember when... You'd have to be very isolated, but remember when they were in the RV and Jesse and Walt, like, made a poisonous bomb and poisonous gas and they locked those guys in and they died?
Yeah.
Like, if he could do that to Todd, take his keys and escape...
Oh, like a reflection of the first episode.
Yeah, but then Jesse would just escape into nowhere. Or
Yeah.
he would go with Brock and his mom.
I don't know,
Hate
like,
Brock.
it's possible... I hate Brock, yeah, he's such a...
Bitch.
Yeah. Like, why does Jesse used to care so much? God.
Yeah.
Like, Jesse...
eat your Fruit Loops, Brock.
I think that Jesse's going to live, but I genuinely don't want him to. I want Walt to live. Like, I'm a Walt fan. Like, no matter just what he's done, like, he's still, like, the shit.
Yeah, I'm a fan too. I don't know. I just don't want... There's a lot of decisions where I'm like, oh man, what a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like that about a lot of people I look up to, right? Like, you're like, no, it's not. Like, even if your, like, favorite person's an athlete, you're like, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that about a lot of things Walt does. He's my, like, he's my favorite because he's, like, the main character.
Yeah.
That's all. But, yeah, I'm just curious what the sequence of the gun and the ricin are.
Mm.
And what those two have to do with each other. Because, really, only the only 3 evil groups or people to kill are the Nazis
Lydia.
and Walt.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the only 3 groups or people who need to die.
Yeah. Well,
And there's 2 things. Like, a gun... You could use the gun on Lydia, too, but I
Yeah.
doubt she's there.
why would you use such a big
She
gun
wouldn't-
on Lydia?
And she wouldn't hang out there.
She's been there before.
Yeah, closing her eyes. But... Just
No,
like-
no, in the, for the lipstick, like, she made an investigation on the product.
Yeah, but... Good point. But... It's just... You know what I mean? Like, who's...
I guess an alternate view of what could go down is that Walt pretends to be, like, down for cooking with them and poisons Lydia with the ricin, which is, like, it seems, like, too obvious to happen because she's, like, the obvious person to poison. Releases Jesse, yeah, there's stuff to happen there. There's a lot of ways it could happen.
And one other question I have is, what's the DEA's role going to be now moving forward?
Well, the DA knows nothing.
Yeah, because they don't know where all that was. They don't know, like, they don't know where the shootout was. They don't know who was in it.
Yeah, and
They just know Hank's dead.
maybe Todd got the info out of Jesse. Maybe they're gonna kill Marie to get the stuff that's in the house, Marie's house, the video that
Yeah,
Jesse made.
Marie's definitely gonna say Jesse's involved.
Yeah.
Find that guy.
I know this is like a bit of a sidetrack, but like Walt could have done this so masterfully, like not ruined his rep, kind of like made the best situation out of it. Kind of like got a picture of him dead, like pretending to be dead next to Hank, who is dead, and have Jesse alive in the picture, like force him into the picture to smile, and just send the picture to like Marie, and then on the picture it says, 2 birds, 1 stone, bitch. Like, something like that. To pin it all on Jesse and to, like, keep them from talking about Walt's role in this drug empire. Because, like, he's dead.
The bitch was Jesse saying bitch.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. I see.
Oh, you didn't get that?
Yeah, I just thought, I was like, well, I guess she's a bitch, yeah.
Oh, wait. Yo, Marie acting all tough in this episode?
Yeah, I know you liked seeing her get knocked down a peg. She's been really annoying.
Yo.
I don't know. I don't even know where to end off this pod. We've gone for 26 minutes on just theories about it, but
well, I hope the people at home are not bored.
Yeah, I don't want to say like just watch it this Sunday, but it's pretty much we've made some educated guesses that I think a lot of people might have made similar ones.
Yeah.
Any big ones? Any
Parting
big
words?
swings? Big swings? Just be like one that you don't think anyone else has said.
One crazy thing, I guess the only thing that probably won't happen, and it could happen, but narrative-wise I doubt it will, is that Walt fails. He doesn't free Jesse. He doesn't save his family. He doesn't get revenge. Everyone thinks that he's going to succeed.
That's a good point.
But he could potentially die in succeeding, as in accomplishing his goals, but die trying.
So there's going out as a good guy.
Yeah, not as a good guy, but like as redeeming himself as much as possible.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I think that's a really good question to ask, and I think that's perfect way to recap. Thank you for listening / watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.